So we've been talking a good bit on the channel about Xbox and kind of the future of what is going to be happening with them. Obviously, the regime change, Asha Sharma now in command, making some very vague statements to the public in terms of Twitter replies and stuff like that that have people feeling some sort of way. And of course, there's been other things that have been happening as well, as far as rumors and speculation. Could Xbox be returning to the exclusive era? What does this mean for the new hardware coming out? There's a lot of uncertainty, but with uncertainty, I think comes curiosity. And I am very interested in covering this sort of stuff. So when the Xbox related videos do well on the channel, like that just encourages me to make more of them. Same thing with sort of PlayStation. I know people like to pigeonhole me as a Nintendo YouTuber, and I understand that a large segment of my audience is interested in my takes on Nintendo stuff. But if we continue to grow the Xbox and the PlayStation, like that is awesome to me too. So thank you guys for watching videos that don't necessarily pertain to Nintendo. But Xbox actually made a very interesting announcement via Asha Sharma about Project Helix. And Project Helix evidently is the new hardware. Now, the statement itself isn't very long, but since this has been said, of course, people are running rampant with it. And I kind of want to talk about all of this stuff with you guys because it is very interesting. This involves next generation hardware. And that, of course, in and of itself is a very interesting proposition. If this is your first time on the channel, hit that subscribe button. But let's hop straight into this and take a look at the tweet that Asha Sharma put out there. So here's the tweet that has the internet a-buzzing, everyone going crazy. Asha Sharma says, who I now follow. I'll go ahead and follow them, keep tabs on people and individuals. Great start to the morning with Team Xbox, where we talked about our commitment to the return of Xbox, including Project Helix, the code name for our next generation console. Project Helix will lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. Looking forward to chatting about this more with partners and studios at my first Game Developers Conference next week. So Game Developers Conference, GDC, is indeed next week. It honestly seems like a lot of people that go to GDC nowadays aren't game developers. Like, there's a lot of like random press people there, which I don't really understand, but I mean, I kind of do, those brown nosers that always find their way into these events and stuff like that to schmooze on up with the executives and stuff like that. So they get the free chairs and all of the press packages and stuff that completely skip out on me. That's fine. I would rather remain kind of unbiased towards a lot of these things instead of developing parasocial relationships with these individuals. But really, when you look at this, there are two main statements to take away. Now, some people are taking away much more from this than I will be able to. I've seen live streams popping up and, big O faces on thumbnails and Xbox YouTubers. Colt Eastwood, Colt, I saw that you're doing a podcast on this tomorrow, Colt. Where was my invite? I'm just kidding. I love Colt Eastwood. I just like to bust his chops sometimes because he's kind of like the main Xbox guy, in my opinion. But with this, we could take away two things. One, this is a confirmation of that next-gen hardware. There was a lot of thought, a lot of speculation that maybe this wasn't going to happen with the way that Xbox kind of has been going. The lack of focus on the console itself. We, of course, know that Asha Sharma didn't come up with this console. This was in the works even probably before Sarah Bond was there. Sarah Bond was the one that first introduced this to us with the partnership with AMD, the biggest technological leap ever for a console generation. I think a lot of that is buzzword related, and it kind of goes into the second part now being confirmed with this. But essentially, saying that yes, there is going to be a next generation console obviously has a lot of people very excited and more hopeful for the future of Xbox, because I really do feel like that was kind of up in the air. Now, it still could be kind of up in the air. There is no guarantee that this is going to come out. There have been consoles that have been announced and then never see the light of day. Granted, that was more so during the 90s when you would see stuff like that, but it's not outside of the realm of possibility. So Next gen console confirmation, that's cool. And then, of course, lead in performance and play your Xbox and PC games. And that's where things get very interesting, because that's pretty much confirming what we all pretty much knew going into this. And I've seen people like taking victory laps, like, haha, I told you so. And it's like, well, everyone knew about this. This was talked about literally years ago with what was going to happen next with Xbox and this sort of Steam Machine-esque hardware. Something that runs Xbox games and also runs PC games. And while that is the core idea of the system, and that's what we've kind of established since, you know, we first learned about the system, there is that whole uncertainty with it. How will this actually work? How will the stores manage to be split and integrated in a smooth way? Because right now, when you look at what, you know, Microsoft is doing with in terms of Windows, like, it's an absolute shit show. And this system is probably, like, I would imagine it would have some sort of Windows features at the very least. Obviously, they're doing a lot with AI and Copilot and stuff like that. The Edge browser, which sucks. Let me tell you about the Edge browser. The Edge browser, like 2 days ago, told me that there was going to be 4 inches of snow that day. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about? And I clicked it, and then it just completely went away. Like, it was up in my taskbar. And I was like, why are you lying to me? There's no snow. It's sunny. It's like 45 degrees outside. But anyways, merging the PC and the console market into one brings up a lot of questions. When it comes to storefronts, are you going to have all of the store? Like, this is retreading topics here, so I'm not going to go too far into it. But are you going to have Steam? Are you going to have Epic Game Store? Are you going to have GOG? Are you going to have all these different stores? Is it just going to be Steam? Is it going to be the full Steam library? If so, why am I going to buy a third-party version of a game if it's cheaper on Steam than I would on Xbox? What's the incentive to buy the Xbox version? And this doesn't answer two of the main questions that we have with this. And those are the two biggest ones that we go back to the latest Xbox video that I made. What's up with Game Pass? What's up with exclusives? Because in no way, shape, or form does this say anything about exclusives coming back to where games are not released on the PlayStation 5. This doesn't say anything about the future of Game Pass, because if you were to tinker with the exclusives and bring them back to the Xbox console, and I guess PC only, then you still have that whole thing of, well, you would have to adjust Game Pass, because Game Pass as it stands, having all of these Xbox exclusives on day one isn't exactly lighting the world on fire. Then you also have to get into the price point of this system, which it's going to be 4 figures. Like, it's over $1,000. There is no question in my mind that Project Helix is over $1,000. There is no world where you can convince me that this thing is going to be under $1,000. Of course, you got to look at timetable of release and stuff like that, but it's a very dangerous game right now, in my opinion, to be talking about this next generation console kind of freely like this. We see what's going on with the Steam machine. When's that coming out? What's the price point of that? Remember, first half of 2026 it's coming out. We're in March, buddy. We're only a couple of months away from the middle of the year already. We don't have a release date and we don't have a price point, because these PC components are going up and skyrocketing in price. If you are supporting PC games, you're going to run into some problems like that. Now, I'm not even necessarily saying like all of that is bad and doom and gloom and stuff, because at the end of the day, I do like new hardware, and I am interested to see the new hardware. Timetable-wise, like, I don't think it's 2027. It just, I mean, with the volatility of the marketplace right now, I think 2028 would make the most sense, maybe? I don't know, though. It's almost one of those situations like, well, if you wait too long, what's that price going to be? Yesterday's price is not today's price, and today's price is not tomorrow's price. But what about next year's price? Another level of uncertainty, but that's what's going on. you know, hopefully we get some leaks out of GDC. You know, people like to talk at these events, and there's behind closed door segments, and maybe we could shine a little bit more of a light on what Xbox's plans actually are, because saying, you know, it's the return of Xbox, what the fuck does that mean? Like, what does that mean? Because most people assume that that means, oh, well, exclusives are going to be back. Like, what does the return of Xbox mean? It's almost something that kind of needs to be spelled out, I feel, you know, for people to fully grasp it. But Project Helix, let me know what you think of it in the comments section down below. What do you think the price point is going to be? Do you think I am crazy for thinking it's over $1,000, or do you think I'm right on the money? Because I'm probably right on the money, and if you think it's going to be, I mean, maybe if we're lucky, it's $999.99. Like, look at the price of the Xbox Series X 1 terabyte right now. Like, shit is crazy out there, dog. The 2 terabyte, I should say. Like, memory prices are going up. Everything is going up in the technology sector, and this will not be immune to that. And what sort of things do you hope for with the next generation Xbox? Is there something that Xbox, like, what's the one thing Xbox can do to make you interested in their system again? Because I'm going to assume that a lot of you guys might not own an Xbox. So let me know all that stuff. And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. I actually filmed this Thursday night. I was going to do a 3 video in one day thing. I didn't feel like it. So now you're getting a video here. There's probably going to be a video on the second channel, and then there's going to be a live stream on the second channel. Lots of content, because I had a very expensive car bill that I had to pay for a service. No, I'm just kidding. I just like making content, especially when there's a bunch of stuff to talk about. And as always, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.